Yes, y'all, as iconic. And in this video, I wanted to ask and see if anyone's been experiencing issues queuing up for running the vault on the Immortal side. I haven't done this for a while, and I experienced some issues today as well as a lot of other people. And I just wanted to see what was going on or if anyone is having the same sort of issues. So this one's going to be a quick one. Just wanted to touch base and see if anyone's been having these same issues running the vault as I have, and just clarify some things with you guys and get hopefully some feedback. So today when I was running the vault, I was doing the 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. vault, and I ended up running the entire hour with my party, and we were getting skipped every time it was our place in the queue. Every single time. We didn't run one vault for an hour, and it was a little bit shocking. Like, we didn't have a big turnout in terms of the shadows running vaults. Like, it definitely was a little bit inconsistent, I would say, this time around. However, we should have been able to get at least 5, 6, 7 runs in, somewhere in that amount, for doing it for the entire hour, and we weren't able to get one run in. And what was happening is, at least on my end, I never saw a pop-up that we were ready to run the vault. It never popped up on my screen to enter the vault. I could never actually get the check marks. I didn't see that. The other people in my party did get a pop-up, and it would say that one of the members was disconnected or not ready, was the message that we were getting. Now, the strange part about this was I didn't show anyone being disconnected actually on my screen itself, but it sort of seemed like there was somebody disconnected from the party. And just comparing this to an issue I had a day or two before this, was right before it was our turn to do the vault, the party would disband and like 2 people would leave, and then they would actually end up coming back and we'd have our full party again. But then we were in 9th or 10th place, something like that, when we came back together and the party joined up again. I'm definitely curious with this new queue system because I'm not as familiar with it. I'm just, my first few days as being an Immortal since they've made this change. I know it was a long time ago, but we haven't been Immortal since like the beginning of the game. So I'm curious if people have any ideas or know what could be going on here. If it's just a bug issue, if something needs to be fixed, has anyone heard about this? And then I wanted to give a couple of just tips and tricks for running the vault as an Immortal that can help you out if you are having issues. Again, we weren't doing any of these things, but just to point them out for anybody that may be unfamiliar or doing it for the first time. So it's a little bit different on the Immortal side, where with the shadows, you can go in at any point in time and then you just have the 10-minute cooldown. So you could come in at say 12:45 and be able to run a couple of vaults in that time frame. On the Immortal side, most people are expecting to be running the vault for that entire hour, and because you're waiting in line, it's just expected when you join a vault group that you're probably going to be running for the whole hour. So definitely make sure you tell your group that if you're not able to do it for the entire hour. Obviously things come up, we've got lives, we've got things going on, so nobody's going to be upset if you can't run for the entire hour, but just communicate that to your group before you come in ahead of time. Another tip here is going to be, if you're a lower resonance player, one thing that you can do now that's changed with the vault since I used to do it is teaming up with a higher resonance player makes a lot more sense now. If you have a group of entirely low resonance or high resonance players, you probably won't get that many vaults, as it's doing it based on the relative resonance to the shadow team. So if you're higher or lower, you might not be getting that many vaults. So I've seen it a lot in World Chat or Shadow Chat, Immortal Chat even, where whales are wanting to team up with lower resonance players just to offset themselves a little bit, so they're not waiting the entire time just to get 1 or 2 matches. So something to keep in mind. And on the lower resonance side, same exact thing. You could be waiting the majority of the vault time to find a team that matches up with your resonance level. So makes a little bit more sense for lower resonance and higher resonance players to team up if you're wanting to get the most amount of vaults you can in the hour. If you are in queue, compared to what it was before, where we used to have to wait in line, and it was mainly for the leader so other people could go off and do other things, but the entire party now can actually go out and world farm. So it's a really good idea to world farm, or even go do some fishing if you guys are in a party and you know you're going to be doing the entire hour together. Get some extra materials in, get some extra monstrous essences in, and not have to sit at the door and wait the entire time. And then there's a few things that seems like can trigger you to not get into a vault, and are very sensitive when being in the vault queue for the Immortal side. So a couple things that I wanted to call out. You definitely have to be paying attention to the screen. You don't want to accidentally cancel the vault queue, and that can happen fairly easily if you're typing a message, if you're hitting a skill, if you're dead and reviving. All of those pop-ups kind of come around the same side of the screen as where the cancel button would be. So make sure when you get to spot 3, you could be going into the vault at any moment. So you want to kind of pay attention to that. Your party leader should be calling it out most of the time that, hey, we're in 3rd position now. Everybody ready up, or make sure you're ready. But you don't want to be resurrecting. You don't want to be hitting a skill. Anything like that could cause you to potentially cancel out. And then the last little tip that I wanted to give you guys is you don't want to be in any other instance. So that's why you're able to farm overworld. That's why you're able to do bounties. That's why you're able to fish, because you're not going into another instance of the game. However, if you were to go into an Elder Rift or a Challenge Rift or a dungeon, even going into potentially the castle does work as long as you're not like you're not in the castle when the vault queue pops up. So just a couple of things to look out for on that front too as well. You want to make sure you're not in a separate instance of the game while you're doing your vault. So good. Again, we can check the box off for world farming. We can check it off for doing fishing. We can check it off for going to do bounties, but anything that's going to require you to go into a separate part of the game, you don't want to do that while you're trying to run the vault as an Immortal. I just wanted to bring this to the forefront and bring some attention to it. Again, I know I'm not in the partner program. I don't have any connection to the devs or anything like that, but I'm curious if anyone else has seen these things, because it seemed to be a very aggravating experience for a lot of people today that were trying to run the vault at the 12 p.m. time. I honestly didn't get the chance to run it during 7 p.m. vault, so I don't know if it was any better or if it was resolved, but I can tell you we went about 6 or 7 rounds without being able to get in and wasted the entire hour. I'm expect the standard compensation coming into my inbox. So what's that going to be, like 12 scrap, 2 dust, 50 gold. It's something like that, you know. If you want to throw an Eternal Crest in there, I'd appreciate it, but I need some compensation for my time. It was an hour wasted. I thought this vault queue was awesome, and it seems to be bugged and a little stupid. All right. If you enjoy the content, if you like what's going on with the channel, I know you guys, you already know what to do. I don't have to ask you again. But in terms of that phase, if you guys want to like, comment, talk about the video, share it with your people, that's what I need. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.